the radio station that shines and shares its light with you.
Yay.
Oh, hi. Okay, I am Ruth Kramer, and I've got the fabulous Dee Warren. Dee, did I say your name right?
Yes, ma'am, you did.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. So anybody who's listening and all of you out there, welcome to Off the Cuff, to E-Zine and to Dee Warren. This is Truth with Ruth on Thursdays, and I'm coming to you live because I've got Dee here, and she's a very gifted who does right across the board with us, numerology, tarot, area cards, prophetic dreams, intuition, ancestor work, angel work, spirit animal work, and a whole bunch of work with native indigenous people of North America. So, Dee, I know I've said some things about you. Did I say that correctly? I want you to do the talking.
Yes, ma'am, you did. I actually work with just about any energy, seeing how all life, past, present, future, angelic, esoterical, anything out there, any kind of thing that has life to it gives off a certain energy of their own. Plant life, it all has its own energy. So I can tune into just about any energy signature and work with any of the energy signatures that are out there. So it's a blessing and a curse all at the same time. I'm also a full-blown empath, so It gets a little tricky sometimes.
I'm sure. When did you first find you had these gifts? How did they come to you?
I guess my earliest recollection of anything was probably when I was about 3 or 4 years old. So, I mean, it's like been with me all my life. I actually grew up thinking everybody had this. Everybody could do this. Everybody could see music and energy patterns, that you could touch a tree and hear it breathing, that the birds actually, when they talked and they flew by you, actually spoke to you. I mean, I really thought everybody could do this. So it was quite astonishing as I grew older to find out that, hey, I'm different. No wonder everybody's looking at me kind of strange. You go by and talk to a tree and touch the leaves, and interact with a living entity, a living creature. I mean, people who can't do it kind of think you're a little nuts.
Yeah, it's a shame, huh? Because so do you teach this to others or do you share it with others? How do you share your gift?
Um, well, ever since I was probably in my preteens and stuff like that, as long as I can remember, everyone in my classes and stuff like that, once I got over my little weirdness, of course, I started, thanks to my mother, I kind of started hiding it a bit. I learned to shield at an early age because, I mean, it just, the emotions of everybody around me were just, it was tormenting. It really was. And I just couldn't understand it. I couldn't filter out someone else's emotions from mine, didn't know who was feeling what. So I just felt it all. And it took me a while to learn to shield. All of this is self-learned. Just having to, to learn to filter and choose which energies to tune into it at what given time.
Okay. Can I ask you
a lot of people come to me with all kinds of things. So, I mean, I will ask them permission to make a personal psychic or energetic type connection with them, to read for them, to see for them, or whatever they might need. Sometimes it's nothing more than a touch, a healing touch that they need to calm them. And I've had, when I got older and my children were teenagers and preteens, I was the house where all the kids come to. Anyone who ever walks in my front door automatically calms. And I've always been commented that my whole environment, just being around me, just is such a calming nature for everybody else that they just love to be anytime. So, yeah, I get a lot of trouble people come to me, if nothing more, just to be next to me.
Right. Well, but
I've had strangers approach me.
Let me ask you a couple of things, Dee.
Okay.
One is, where do you go for your support and help, though?
I meditate and I seek out angelic and higher power connections and relaxation. I do a lot of Zen meditation, and I work with a lot of angelic spiritual type healing and personal healing for myself.
Okay, so you do have a community around you that supports you on this earth as well?
Yes. Well, yes, I have a few people, yes. My family at Cosmic Counseling has been a wealth of comfort and support. And, of course, I have a few others that I've met. A lot of them are online. I have a few friends and a couple family members that understand and accept my uniqueness, or as my younger sister calls me, you're just weird, but I love you anyway.
That's kind of
but yeah, I have a few, and I may not have a lot of personal friends out here around me close, but the ones I have are very close, and they mean the world to me. So, okay. And my children are very supportive.
That's lovely. If you had to put together there's a few questions I have for you, so I'm going to drop them in between all your lovely conversation where you're telling the world about you. And we'll make sure that we leave the contact information out here so that people can get in contact with you with Cosmic Counselling, or, wherever you need to let the world know how to reach you. But Dee, if you had to state a mission statement, a reason for your showing up here on Earth, for our world, what do you feel your particular mission is?
Oh, that is a beautiful question. And for years, I spent searching for that answer of why I'm here, not understanding my gifts or how to use them or what to do with everything. In the last couple of years, through a lot of meditation and self-reflection, I have been told that my purpose is a very simple one. It is to help people understand and know themselves and to love themselves and others. So my basic purpose is love, love and understanding. So,
okay. And I love that. It's fabulous. In order for you to really hold the space for others to reach that, you must have discovered that within yourself, because we can't really teach from a place that we don't really know. So do you have daily rituals or daily things or some things that you do that absolutely help you stay connected to your own self-love that you can share with others right now?
Yes, I do. I do spell casting, of course, natural born, I guess, for label purposes, a witch, but it just comes naturally. So grounding is very, very important. Making contact with anything that is of natural, of the natural world, such as plants and the ground, just walking barefoot in the ground. I have a grounding pot at my home, which is basically a large flower pot just filled with earth that I'll take my bare feet and just dig it into during the wintertime when I can't get out and actually walk barefoot across the ground. I have my plants, and I will, make personal contact with them and just exchange energy with them. And then my meditation, of course. Now it took me a long time to know myself, to get to know all about myself and to understand myself. I've used astrology and numerology to aid in that, along with meditation and spiritual work. So it's a long, hard journey, and you have to take a lot of long, hard looks, honest looks in the mirror and be brutally honest with yourself. And you have to accept those things in yourself that are not exactly the way you would like them to be, right, but you get to embrace them as well. And love yourself in spite of it.
So talking about that, by the way, I love the flower pot thing. I'm like learning from you every moment. And if I am, then all the listeners are too. Okay, so let's take a moment in the mirror where you've looked in the mirror and you've gone, oh my goodness, I do not like that aspect of me. What do you do to turn it around and turn it into love and face it and yet transform it or create alchemy for it? What do you do?
Meditation, I usually do a ritualistic spell, a cleansing bath, salts bath. I also will take and do a small chant or prayer. Basically, most of my spell casting is, I just call it just well-written prayers with a little oomph behind them. So I pray and do my chant to the great creators to give me true sight and strength and honesty and clarity. Clarity is always important. I think that is the number one thing that you must know and must have, is clarity through the divine, to see yourself as he sees you, not as others see you, not as you perceive yourself, but as the creator sees you in all your brokenness and all your frailty, and see these things. Okay. And then you see, okay, I've been doing this a little wrong. I don't like that. Can I change it? Okay, if you can, yes or no, yes, you can change it. Okay, then how do I go about it? Well, first you got to know how you got there in the first place. So you got to backtrack and you figure out what mistakes you made along the way to get you to that point, to create this image in your head or yourself that you see. And then you backtrack and undo it. It sounds simple. It's not. It takes a lot of hard work. But all along, I keep my higher powers with me at all times. I ask the angels to surround me and be with me. And I have been blessed with a lifetime, for the rest of my life now, an angelic guide that just stays with me. He's at my beck and call for the most part.
Right.
Because, the creator does state, he helps all those who helps themselves. The mother goddess will nourish all those who in need. And the sun is the healer. So, you have to work with the three entities there and be willing to accept them into your life and be a tool for them through you. So it's just a matter of opening yourself up to the higher frequencies of the divine and putting yourself out there, really.
Yes.
So,
yes. I understand. I totally understand. It's really funny. I tend to be a bit of a visionary. And so when you're talking about kind of walking with purpose and definition, I see, especially with your southern accent, or you might not think you have a southern accent. It sounds southern to my British one. And I see you walking along with these lovely soft, glowy boots, and they've got spurs on them. You know what I mean? Like, don't mess with me, as you're going backwards and forwards, going back to retrieve what you've missed from the past and then stepping forwards to bring it forward to the present and then create the future from it. So, so do you see yourself well, do you see yourself, and also with others? So if you're working with others from your own backtrack steps, then do you see yourself doing that with others, where you I don't want to say backpedal, but where you go backwards to retrieve the gifts of what you need to understand from the past to help them with their future? Do you do the same kind of work with your clients as well?